Welcome, everyone. Today we are diving into one of the most intriguing and diverse figures in ancient mythology, the shape-shifting pig demon. Often known for its appearance in classic literature, this entity represents a blend of human desire, celestial power, and animalistic instinct. Before we peel back the layers of these old tales, make sure you settle in, because the history of this creature is far more complex than a simple monster story. We're going to travel back through time to see how this legend evolved from a terrifying spirit into a cultural icon that still resonates today. It's a journey of transformation, both literally and figuratively, so let's get started. To understand the pig demon, we must first look at its origins in the celestial heavens. In many accounts, this creature wasn't always a beast. It began its existence as a high-ranking commander of the heavenly naval forces, known as Tianpeng Yuan Shui. This celestial being was powerful and respected, overseeing tens of thousands of soldiers. However, like many tragic figures in folklore, it was a lapse in judgment and an inability to control earthly impulses that led to a dramatic fall. The stories tell of a great banquet in the stars, where a single moment of arrogance and forbidden attraction changed everything, stripping the commander of his divine status and casting him toward the mortal realm. The descent was not just a loss of title, but a literal loss of humanity. Legend says that as the commander fell from the heavens, a celestial mistake, or perhaps a cruel twist of fate, led his spirit into the womb of a sow. When he was reborn into the mortal world, he was no longer a handsome deity, but a creature with the body of a man and the head of a pig. This transformation was a curse meant to humble him, forcing him to live with the insatiable hunger and coarse nature of an animal, while retaining the memories and intelligence of his former self. It's a haunting image of a soul trapped between two worlds, struggling to find its place in the dirt. Once on Earth, the pig demon began to use his remaining magical powers to survive. He wasn't just a brute, he was a master of illusion. In many folk stories, he would transform into a handsome young scholar or a helpful traveler to trick villagers. He would find work in remote mountain farms, working harder than any human could, only to reveal his true gluttonous nature once he felt secure. This shape-shifting ability allowed him to hide in plain sight, blending into human society while secretly harboring a craving for wine, food, and companionship. These early stories paint him as a trickster, someone who was as much a nuisance as he was a danger to the rural communities he haunted. The most famous iteration of this legend is, of course, Zhu Bajie from the epic Journey to the West. In this narrative, the pig demon is given a chance at redemption. Recruited by the goddess Guanyin, he joins the monk Xuanzang on a perilous quest to India. But unlike the noble Monkey King, Zhu Bajie is a reluctant hero. He is constantly tempted by the very things that got him cast out of heaven in the first place. Throughout the journey, he serves as a comic foil, often complaining about hunger or wanting to return to his wife and farm. Yet, despite his flaws, his strength and his occasional bouts of loyalty make him an indispensable, if difficult, member of the group. Visually, the pig demon is often depicted with a massive nine-toothed rake, a weapon that was once a divine tool but became a symbol of his farmhand persona. He is usually shown as bloated and strong, wearing dark, loose-fitting robes that struggle to contain his bulk. His face is a mix of terror and comedy, with large ears and a snout that twitches with every scent of food. This hybrid appearance was meant to represent the middle ground between the divine and the bestial. In some darker versions of the myth, his appearance is much more monstrous, with tusks like a wild boar and coarse black fur, emphasizing the dangerous animal nature that lies just beneath his magical disguises. Beyond his physical strength, the pig demon possessed 36 earthly transformations. While fewer than the Monkey King's 72, these powers were still formidable. He could turn into trees, rocks, or even fierce predators to escape his enemies. However, his magic was always slightly imperfect because of his lack of discipline. For instance, he might transform into a beautiful woman, but forget to hide his tail, or his enormous appetite might give him away. These flaws in his magic are a recurring theme in the tales, suggesting that no matter how much one tries to change their outward appearance, their true nature and their past mistakes will always find a way to manifest. The moral lessons embedded in these stories are quite profound. The pig demon represents the id of the human psyche, our basic desires for food, comfort, and lust. His journey is a metaphor for the struggle to overcome these base instincts in favor of a higher spiritual purpose. In ancient times, these stories were told to children to warn them against greed and the importance of self-control. The fact that he is often punished, yet constantly given chances to redeem himself, shows a very human side to the mythology. It suggests that even the most flawed individuals can eventually find a path toward enlightenment if they are willing to endure the hardships of the journey. Across Asia, the influence of the pig demon extends beyond literature and into local festivals and rituals. In some regions, he is even worshipped as a minor deity associated with wealth and fertility, perhaps a nod to the pig's role as a symbol of abundance in agricultural societies. Artists have spent centuries depicting his exploits in opera, puppetry, and woodblock prints. Each culture adds its own flavor to the story, sometimes making him more heroic, and other times emphasizing his role as a cautionary monster. This enduring popularity proves that there is something universally relatable about a character who is so deeply flawed, yet constantly striving to be better. As we reach the end of our look into the shape-shifting pig demon, it's clear why these tales have survived for over 1,000 years. He is a mirror of our own struggles, a reminder that transformation is a difficult and ongoing process. Whether he's a fallen commander or a bumbling companion on a holy quest, he remains one of mythology's most vivid characters. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the misty mountains of folklore. If you found these legends as fascinating as I do, don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on the world's most mysterious myths. We have plenty more stories to tell, and I'll see you in the next one.